GM everybody, and welcome to another Wake and Jake. We're here on a nice little Monday. I'm actually. It's nice to see that the markets are recovering. We've been waiting for this for a while. Obviously, it took a little bit of news from the administration to get us going again, but hopefully they do stick to their 90-day rule, and we were able to pump for and actually just trade. Just give us a good market to trade in, and we'll be happy, right? Give us a few months of stable markets, and I think we can make some money. And I think right now it's looking good. It's nice to see that we came out of the weekend strong and we didn't just like dump. I know around the weekend we did have a bit of weakness, but it just felt in general it felt good. I mean, every sector is doing really well right now. But yeah, GM Jake, how are you, man? How's everything?
Yeah, man, doing well. And having a little bit of fun in shitcoin streets again, which has been nice because it's been really bad the past couple months. So we got some life again in NFTs as well, and over in abstract and several different pockets, bear chain stuff. So it's cool. It's cool and it feels good to actually have stuff to do again in crypto.
Yeah.
So excited to get into that more. And yeah, we're looking okay, I'd say. I have some optimism here. Not ready to go full risk on, that's for sure. There's still a lot of uncertainty. There's just so much that comes down to what Trump's gonna do on a daily basis with the tariff stuff. Thankfully, we saw last week that decided to put a pause on the universal tariffs. Um, that was really good to see. It seems pretty clear it's been being used as a negotiation tactic, and um, any type of like back down on the Trump side, retreat in that order is going to be a bullish signal for the markets. I would anticipate. Hopefully, there's some kind of deal um, that can be worked out between U.S. and China. That's the biggest one because they are really big trade partners, and it does certainly affect things. So that's the only one that didn't get back down, and it's only gotten higher and higher in terms of the tariffs. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what we're looking like on the macro front. There's still plenty of uncertainty. The big bull signal is going to be just some type of retreat, which Trump. We know Trump. He'll claim it as a victory, whatever it is. But whatever. But if it is something in regards to walking back the tariffs, that's gonna be a good thing. If here's a little bit of analysis from Donald, who's obviously reference him all the time. He guys refers him like every show, but he's one of my favorite macro people to follow. He's really looking at over 90K here for Bitcoin. As we're recording right now, Bitcoin is 84,200 or so. Up a healthy 7.5% on the weeks. That's nice. ETH up 4.7% at 1,600, and Solana up 21%. Having a nice run at 129 here. So yeah, so back to Bitcoin. He says over 90K and we full send as long as the White House chills a bit. Like you were saying, Jinzo, like we hopefully we just get a little bit of like not crazy erratic decisions for a little bit, and I think things will look pretty good. Bitcoin's been showing some nice strength compared to the stock market. It kind of bounced before the stocks did. Well, it lagged a little bit on one of the drops, but since it's been showing some nice strength. And yeah, I think right now, like my general thought is it looks pretty good. We got a lot of like the really bad stuff out of the way. I mean, like the tariffs were about as bad as you could you could expect in terms of like how universal they were and how large they were. And I think around that area is a good chance that we bottomed in that area at least for quite a while. And really anything else we can do to improve, trade negotiations with other nations will largely, I feel like there's largely just a lot of room for more bullish news than there is for bearish news at this point. And that kind of helps with price action going forward. So yeah, but still kind of in the in-between zone here and hoping for that signature, like, hey, we're gonna back down in certain areas, which will probably hopefully lead to like over 90K, and then we can get a lot more bullish is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, agreed. And to me, this is like the sweet spot, right? This is where you can make most of your money, really. When things are still quiet, people are not really paying attention yet. They're still kind of in that mental state of, oh, crypto's dead and shitcoins are never gonna come back. Like that's the general consensus, like in for normies, right? So that's where you make the most money. You gotta start paying attention, placing your bets, making some money now that we are still in like in good times where nobody else is paying attention, because then it gets crazy and people are dumping on each other. We all see how it goes, but to me this is the sweet spot, and I think this is where people that have experience could make the most money. And I've been having a really good time. I'm sure you too. This last week, things are starting to heat up again. We'll talk about shitcoins in a bit, but just in general, like people are making money on actual altcoins again, and that's rare. We haven't seen that in a little while, right? So if altcoins are doing well, crypto, the big boys like Bitcoin are maintaining a certain range, then there's a lot of opportunities out there. So it's just really don't be lazy, and you can get so much done, right? With a lot less risk than you could have even a couple weeks ago. So it's good. I hope we get a few months of this. We know summer comes around and kind of changes everything. People like to sell, but maybe we get a little bit of a different one this year, since we had kind of a down couple months here in right before spring. So yeah, I'm optimistic, but I'm still going to play it kind of cautiously, because we just know that it's been erratic with this administration so far, and they say things just to crash the market, it seems. So I'm still being very cautious, but you can do a lot of moves from day to day or week to week, and still be in good position, I think. So it's definitely time to pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. I don't think I have much else on macro for the moment. I'll open up if anyone has any macro thoughts for a transition here.
Anyone else have a different opinion? Show us your macro bags. I guess we can move on to meme coins then. We were just talking about them anyway. But yeah, it's been good, man. You already know what I'm gonna say. Fart coin, man. Heat rises. Hot air rises. It's been special. It's been really like we talked about it a couple weeks ago too. I know we missed last week's show. But we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I think it was still at around the 500 mil range, and we were already like praising it and saying how it's gonna go higher and stuff. And I was DCing from way before then. Actually, Jake, you're the one who really pushed that onto me, really, when we kept talking about it, and I was looking at it and I'm like, this guy's right, man. He's talking about all these tradfi guys and the normies talking about fart coin. I feel like this is going to come back, and if it comes back, it'll be like a Pepe strong, like when Pepe crashed and came back strong. I think that's what fart coin's going to do. And luckily, like I obviously didn't go all in. I probably should have, hindsight 2020, right? But I did DCA quite a bit. While everything else, I was losing money left and right. Fart coin is what really helped me up when it came back up, because all the soul I lost trying to be greedy during the little mini bear run we went through, Fartcoin basically made me all those gains back and then some. So yeah, and I think it's going to go much higher. Like my bold prediction is that even hits 1.5 billion within a week or two, and I think the all time high was 2 billion. So it's not even about being overly bullish. It's the fact that it's held up so well all week, and it just keeps grinding up, grinding up, grinding up. It rejected the 1 billion once or twice this week, but I feel like eventually it's just gonna stay at that level and pop right through. So, and you know what happens, right? After that, the all-time high kind of acts like a magnet. So I think it has a lot more to go. I'm not saying buy here. Obviously, if you're looking for a 2x, there's probably better ways of doing it. But yeah, that's to each their own. I got in like at like 500 mils, so average. So I'm happy with my entry. But yeah, that's one I'm kind of looking at Farcoin right now as an indicator for the rest of the shitcoin market, because I noticed that when that started doing well, everything else kind of followed, right? So for me, I'm starting to look at Farcoin a lot like an indicator, which is crazy to say because it's actually a pretty new coin, but I feel like that when that's doing well, the rest of the market is also doing pretty good, or it's about to do good. So that's kind of how I've been looking at it. I don't know about you, Jake, but yeah, like so far, right? Like we're in a good spot for shit coins, and a lot of them are pumping. There's a lot of little metas that are happening. Obviously, you're not looking for 100 million runner, but I think that's gonna come soon. But we're seeing a lot of coins run from between 5 and 15 mil again, or 5 and 10 mil again. So it's been a nice little place to make money.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I think we've seen it when Farcoin started showing some strength. Entire shitcoin market started showing a little bit more strength than normal, and as Farcoin kept rising, so did market caps of new coins and like new runners got higher and higher. Volume started getting higher and higher. I think people feel more confident in betting on other stuff when there is a main runner getting a lot higher. It kind of just raises the bar of like hopium of where a coin can go. When you see one so prominent, going to almost a billion now, back there at least. Um, yeah, I think it kind of just gives the hopium to the people. When you have the main runner, it's really what you need to propel the rest of the market. So that's good to see. I agree, man. I like. I mean, I've always loved Fartcoin for quite a while now. It just seems to me like it's like one of the only memes that's actually entrenched outside of the crypto normal like bubble, because it's so big in like the tradfi world. Like all the like ETF, like Bloomberg analysts and shit will tweet about the Fartcoin chart, and like there'll be like big tradfi accounts like options traders, stock traders who will be tweeting about Fartcoin and saying how ridiculous it is, and that only just kind of propels it higher in terms of price and mind share. So I've always been a big fan. Glad to see it. Seems like it's becoming obviously like the collective bet of crypto Twitter too. So I certainly think it can go quite a bit higher. Um, and that's just good in general for the risk of the entire market. So hopefully we spawn some Fartcoin millionaires, and they gamble on other stuff and help all of our bags.
I hope so. It really does remind, like I was just saying, it reminds me of all those that took us by storm, like Pepe did, like Whiff did for a little while there. But I think it's even more memeable than Whiff, right? So, and it's just so easy to like it. I think it's just so simple and easy to like. So yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it for a little while and see. I think I'm gonna wait for a blow off top on all time highs and start selling out. But I'm trying to make a good play here. I always sell too early. By now, I probably would have dumped it already, like I did with other coins. But I'm trying to like I just think it's special. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I did get burned on other coins in the past, so you always think one way, and then the opposite happens, and then you're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I sold too soon. Now it's flying, and then oh look, I held, so this one's dying, and yeah, I guess the right thing to do would be to sell on the way up, but we'll see. I think on this one, I'm just gonna hold on and pray for the best. Yeah, man. Any other coins you're trading?
Um, Nothing notable to shout out. I'd just say it's been a better environment. I don't love holding coins for a super long time. I'm usually pretty in and out of stuff, but it's been better environment in general for trading coins. Like it was so bad previously where there'd usually just be like one initial pump, and then if you buy the dip just kept on dipping, and now there's actually hope of after like the super big bundles are out that it can recover and go higher, and that hasn't happened on quite a few coins now. Whereas in the past it was like you have to get in like right away when the coin launches and hope you get the initial uptrend, or it's just gonna like die for the rest of its life. So
Yeah.
um we've actually been seeing some recoveries and some strength, and some people more confident in holding for a longer term on some of these coins. I say like the most recent bigger runners are like House Coin, RFC, I don't know, Dark something, which is like an AI coin that just got listed on Moonshot. Um, But yeah, it's good to see. Good to see some life. It's been fun over in Shitcoin channel recently.
Been a lot of fun. You know, it's a good time when people are looking like people are getting sent coins in DMs or whatever, and they're not posting them. Like they're at 100K when they see them, and then they come back an hour later. They're like, "Oh crap! I should have posted this at 4 million." So you know that's when you know you're back, when you start feeling cope that you didn't take a certain coin, like you know what I mean. You didn't take it seriously, and all of a sudden it's like 40, 50x from where you got it shilled. So, like, look, RFC, we're talking about it now, right? You were on one side of it, I was on the other, and even then, even if I was very bullish at that time, a couple weeks ago when it came out, I bought and sold on the same day because the market was trash, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I made my 2-3x. Let me get out. That was when it was what, kind of a couple million, Jake. I think we saw it. It was like super early. The thing's at 100 million right now, so it would have been like 100x
Yeah.
almost if I would have just been a bit more patient, right? Because I even look for that one. We'll talk about it fast. I even saw that it was because it's an account that's big on Twitter. He made his own coin. He has 700,000 followers. And what really got me bullish is when he just pinned it. He's like, I don't care if people are hating on me because I'm doing a shit coin. I'm pinning it to my page. So now every time everybody clicks on that page, that's the first thing they see is the whole spiel about his pump fund, right? So I'm like, oh, this is a good one. I should hold it. Or I should come back. I'll revisit it if it does well after a couple of days. And I just lost sight of it, which is fine because shitcoins were doing bad. My attention went somewhere else. But for it to run at 100 million, man, wow! Like you can tell that the market's back. So it's definitely it's a good sign. Maybe I missed. I was right there. I should have made big money, but it doesn't matter. It's a good sign. The market's back. Time to pay attention. And like you said, shitcoin chat's been a blast. It's a little slower than it was like a month ago in there, but still, I mean, this is the early rumblings of it. This is how it was when we made a lot of money around last summer to last fall, right? And it's a good place. That's when a lot of the good coins came out and we got in early. So yeah, definitely a time to pay attention. I wouldn't say go all in or play it too hard, but these are the moments you can play slow and start learning how shitcoins work if you weren't already in, or if you had bad luck when everybody was just dumping on each other. This is a better environment, I'd say. So yeah, just we've seen so many runners in the last couple of days and nobody's talking about them. It's just been crazy. But that's my 2 cents on shitcoins. If anybody else has something to say, please do so. But I have a feeling most of you are not even in right now. That's why I like talking about this, because I have a feeling most people are not even in. So maybe it'll give them an opportunity here. Yeah, I guess we can move on. Anything else, Jake, before we do?
Um, no, I think that's about all I had on shitcoin stuff.
Awesome. Our favorite segment, NFTs. Obviously, globally, there's not much to say. It's just been good. There's volume. Like I mean, there's been good momentum on a lot of NFTs. We saw some runs that kind of retraced too after the initial runs, like on apes. They had ran to like 15 or 16 ETH a couple weeks ago, came back down to 14, and now they're trending decently in this range. I mean, it's just nice to see that they're holding up, right? And they're getting some volume across ETH NFTs, even though nobody's playing on ETH. Over the weekend, we even saw Bitcoin ordinals pump a little bit. There was a lot of volume, actually. I don't know how that happened, but now that they retraced a little bit. I guess people noticed and they dumped into the volume. But even Taproot Wizards, they came back to almost mint price, which is good because it's an expensive mint and it had got down all the way to 0.15. So if you had the balls to do it and the funds to do it, you could have made a nice little 25% on your money right there by buying the bottom. It's at 0.19 now. Node Monkeys had ran up to 0.05, came back down to 0.04, and yeah, just in general, there's been a few sales. It's been nice to see that just volume coming back slowly. I think a lot of it was driven also by Luca Nets. He had posted how he's looking to dump big money on NFTs, especially ETH NFTs, and that moved the market a bit. I guess it gave confidence to people, or just in general, it shows that people have confidence in investing in NFTs because of how they held up and how they've been trending for the last few months, really. Like everybody thought they would just keep crashing, but they've held up really well. So maybe they're looking at it as an investment vehicle again, and that's the first step, right? That's what we need. We need people to kind of take them seriously and stop thinking they're just one big scam, and I think that's what we're starting to see. Even we're gonna talk about this when we talk about abstract, but even Final Bosu just minted out right before the show. Actually, I was even thinking 0.13 was too high for public because most people on pre-sale got it at 0.08. So when they announced the point 13, I'm like, man, that usually goes bad, right? People will claim, people that went on pre-sale will claim, and they'll just dump on people after the mint is finished. But it's actually way above even public mint right now. It's a point 16 with 530 sales. They just opened secondary trading, so it's nice to see, right? I mean, this is what we want to see. We want to see a high mint come out and it actually trending way higher than mint price. So we'll see where it goes in the next couple of days. Maybe it comes back down, but right now, really healthy. I'm liking what I see. But yeah, they're unrevealed. Hopefully the reveal goes well, but we all know how that goes. Usually reveal means crash. So play it play it accordingly if you did get in. Just in general, that whole ecosystem. I will talk about it, but all the NFTs on Abstract are holding up because they have some sort of utility for the most part. So that's been really really fun.
Yeah,
You
I'm
see it, Jake?
looking at the top ETH collections right now, and it's pretty green across the board in terms of like the weekly. Um, here, sorry, my page just refreshed on me. Penguins up 9%, Lil Pudgy's up 17%, Apes up 5%, Zuki up 4%, Bill's up 6%, Captain's up 10, Kato up 25%. Yeah, I mean, people are feeling more bullish. Yeah, I think Luca's point was basically if I'm gonna hold any ETH, I might as well just put it in NFTs. It's like I don't know. I guess they can't get any lower or any lower, but it's like ETH is like has been so shit itself. It's like I might as well use it like a leverage bet on um via these NFT vehicles. And the fact that I think it was I actually retweeted something. I agree with this a lot. Moon Overlord, who's a really good trader, he's a good follow. That ETH isn't coming back until someone makes NFTs great again, and I agree with that. Like that was
Yeah.
when ETH pumped a bunch. That's just when people are using ETH the most and actually transacting with it. It was because of the NFT season. And since those have been so dead, I think that's pretty correlated with what lack of strength recently too. So if NFTs do come back, I think that's like one of the biggest like at least short term, mid term bull cases for ETH is if NFTs on ETH start pumping again.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I completely agree. If not, what else is there, right? I mean, I feel like the valuable stuff on ETH right now is the NFTs that we minted in 2021. So, what else is there? All the we've talked about this in the past, but all he forced everything onto L2s, right? He forced people to build L2s. He wanted a lot of the traffic to go onto L2s, and that acted like a double-edged sword because now nobody uses main ETH, which is kind of what he wanted, but it's also it's preventing the price to go up, and it's preventing people to actually hold real ETH. So I mean, there has to be a reason for us to be trading on ETH, and NFTs is the only logical thing, right? And it's not made for big traffic. We know that. Like, prices get crazy. Nobody wants to pay the gas price when ETH goes nuts, or when there's a lot of traffic. So the only thing you can really do with ETH is have these pockets of activity for ETH mints and for like secondary trades on NFTs. So it would be cool. I mean, at least that would be the niche thing for ETH itself, and it would just act as building blocks for L2s, which it's all the big L2s are built on ETH anyway. So yeah, I think that's the only way to make ETH great again. Like mainnet ETH is to make NFTs great again. So come on, guys, pull out the wallet. No, I'm kidding. Uh, Good points, though. I like that. In general, I think in here we did a good job of identifying that early, right? I'm sure a lot of people are still holding ETH, and I did too a little bit. But as soon as this cycle started, we kind of saw that it wasn't going to be the ETH cycle. It started off like early, early, early. If you guys were active in the bear, you saw that it was all Bitcoin. Bitcoin took all the attention. It was all Bitcoin ordinals and Bitcoin itself with all the attention on the high on the news or whatever. So it became really, really evident really quickly that the money had to flow from ETH to Bitcoin, and that's kind of what happened there. So even me, I started jumping into Bitcoin much more when last cycle I was telling everybody not to touch Bitcoin, that you're going to get better multipliers in ETH. It's just you got to stay flexible, right? You got to go with the times, and it just felt like it was Bitcoin's turn, because that's what everybody wanted to hold. And then instead of transferring that wealth to ETH, we went straight into Solana with Solana shitcoins, and Solana just actually was NFTs early on. Actually, it was Solana NFTs that started pumping, and we made a lot of quick flips on some of those. Like we had a little period there of a couple months where it was just Solana NFTs nonstop, and ETH just never had its day. Nobody really wanted to go back to ETH. Instead of ETH sucking up new members and retaining some of the old guys that made a lot of money in 2021, whoever was active was just going on to other chains. So yeah, I mean it kind of it's kind of been a bad few months for ETH, and obviously, like I was saying just a few minutes ago, pushing people onto L2s also drove people away from main ETH, and that didn't help. So yeah, it's just people need to adapt, need to understand how ETH works and what it's about now, and not be stuck in the past. You know what I mean? Go with the flow and ride that wave, but don't get stuck to it, I think. Well, speaking of L2s, man, I'm telling you, Jake, I know what you're gonna say. You're still fading it, but abstract, bro, it's been hot.
Oh, man,
Uh,
it's honestly just the time commitment involved with it. I just haven't been able to
it's pretty long. Yeah. I mean,
been
that's
able to carve enough time to like feel like it's get worth it. I do I do think it's like a good farm and everything. I haven't had the time to really get into it.
no, I get you, and that's kind of like I had to really, really force myself to push. If I didn't have any GLHFers that turned into Gigaverse items, or if I didn't have a few things that pushed me to do it, I would probably take it less serious too. Um, Luckily, it came at a time where the market was slowing down, and the way I saw it was, oh, everybody's mad at abstract for whatever reason. You know how it is when a new chain comes out, everybody just dumps it and they don't care about it anymore. And that's kind of when I told myself, you know what? Feels like nobody's farming this thing. I think it's going to be good because of that. They might have a sour taste in their mouth because of blast for the majority of them. Let me take it a little
Mm.
seriously, and I have. I've been farming it, doing my grinds and stuff, but it's getting kind of like vast. Every day it feels like a new, or not every day, but every week there's a couple of new products that come out that you need to kind of interact with. And obviously, you're not forced to interact with anything. You can do it however you feel, and just like interact the most you can, but like stick to the ones you're the best at. And the games have been fun, really. Like I've enjoyed Gigaverse. Cambria just came out. It's basically almost like a reskinned RuneScape. I don't know if you've played that. I know you were big early on the duels and stuff, but people are enjoying that one a lot. Leveling up and doing stuff. I touched it a little bit, but I was not that great at RuneScape, and even this, I'm kind of lost at it. But and speaking of time commitment, Cambria is a time commitment, right? It's a full game, so it takes a lot longer to really grind through it. But there's been decent games. I mean, like the road racing one, I enjoy it. It's cool. You basically, I mean, JJ showed it on stream a few weeks ago where you go long or short, and your roach gains speed, and you need to win. But that I'm just doing for points and for XP. Really, like I'm not racing for money or anything. People are getting kind of good at it, so it's not worth my time anymore. Um, but yeah, other than that, it's just really doing my farms. This week though, we did see a really cool Ponzi come out. And this one I'm gonna say right away, be careful with. It took the world by storm. You guys probably heard about it when it came out, called Bitcoin. Just for a quick rundown, it's basically a game where you buy miners, kind of like Bitcoin. Think of it as Bitcoin but interactive, right? Where you need to mine Bitcoin, and then there's a hash rate and there's a halving date and everything. Well, they just basically took the whole how Bitcoin works and turned it into a game on abstract. And how people are operating is they're taking their Bitcoin that they mine off of the miners they have in the game, and they're rebuying other miners or upgrading the rooms or investing in their mine facility, their virtual mine facility, and that will give you higher hash rate that makes you more coins. Now you have some people in this that got really early into this game, and they basically started off having huge farms. People have like $1 million farms on this stuff. So it's gonna come down to almost like Wolf Game did, where there's huge whales in this, and if they decide to just kill the game, they will, because they could just crash all their coins. But a lot of them have been reinvesting heavily, so it's been maintaining. There's been a lot of FUD lately on the timeline though, because we saw this run from $1 all the way up to 12 or 13. I think actually higher than that. It went to $16 in just a day or two. The coin itself, and that was not going to be sustainable. And obviously, when it crashed, people probably bought the top. It was shielded on the timeline a bunch in the $5 or $6 range, pumped up to 13 or 14, and it crashed. People got mad, but I mean, who are you going to get mad at? You're the one who ran it up to 14, and you're the one who bought the top. Don't be mad, you know. But the way I see it is that when there's a lot of cope on the timeline, you wait for the dump, and you can probably invest and see where it goes from there. But that's all dependent on the whales, because if they decide to kill the game, they can at any moment. They're making so much coin right now. Um, but yeah, I bought that dip, and I'm hopeful that it does something like Wolf Game, where all the abstract team even shielded. So I don't know. I feel like it might have longevity if the team keeps this up and tries to find other sinks for it. And if it survives the 50 days to the halving, maybe it does like Bitcoin and it does pump up right before the halving or whatever, right, or right after the halving. So again, risky play, but I dumped a bit of money into it on this dip. I'm a little bit of afraid. The cons to me are really I'm afraid of the big whales, and I'm afraid that this game just dies and nobody cares about it anymore, and they don't have enough sinks for it to maintain the price. But on the other hand, the market cap's low. This is the pros for me. The market cap is low. It already had its big run up, and now it's on that constant consolidation dump where people are going to probably be in disbelief when it starts running. So I started reinvesting. That's kind of it. I mean, it's just really an interactive Bitcoin game that acts exactly like Bitcoin does, but on a much faster scale. So yeah, well, one to look at and one to keep an eye on.
Great shots. After like the yield farm, I'm more cautious with these kind of games. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Yield token on blast that did like crazy numbers, then obviously went crazy down. I
Yeah.
feel like no, I feel like with those kind of games, I'm like if I can get in early on the initial Ponzi, then I'm pretty excited. But after kind of the hype wears off, I personally don't love joining them. But that's also me doing like honestly like barely any research on this game in particular.
No, I'm
So I
with
could, I
you.
certainly could be wrong.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like a lot of people got in super early at the dollar range or less, and they were able to, when the hash rate was kind of low, they were able to turn that into monster numbers, and that's what, like I was saying, that's what worries me. So I just put in a couple $100 to see if I can roll it. The problem is, it's just like when you're mining, it's exactly like mining Bitcoin, right? Let's say you only have a couple of miners. In not too long, they'll just be obsolete anyway. So are you even going to get your money back, right? But I'm holding a little bit of the coin, hoping for a pump if it does squeeze. There's just a lot of downsides to it, so I went really light on it. But I wanted to get the XP from abstract chain, and I also wanted to just get involved in case it does something. So I just dipped my toe. I didn't like put thousands in. I mean, I'm not gonna go and get dumped on by all these whales. So I put like $500 in. If something happens, happens. But that's it. I'm stopping there. I'm not even gonna reinvest the coin. I'm just gonna hold it and see what happens.
I will shout out Cambria though because I've been following them for quite a long time. I know they've been building that game for years now. Um, it's a legit team. I like the concepts of what they're trying to do with the RuneScape stuff. I think it's haven't tried the new version of it yet. Everyone's grinding right now, just from a time perspective. I might hop in just to see what it's like, but um, I like what they're doing over there at Cambria. I don't know. I have no clue in terms of like how worth it is based on how much time you spent. Just my 2 cents is that I like what they're doing, but
Yeah, I
they've
wish
been
we had
bouncing
like
around a lot. They were on Blast and they were have been on like Polygon or like Base or something before that, and now they're on Ronin, and now they're on like Abstract. Or I don't even know what's going on.
I think
They're on
they're on
Ronin
both
and
right
Abstract.
now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can play on both right now. Um, I wish we had someone in here that's playing now. I would have, if anybody's in chat and they've played, you want to give us the quick rundown. Like even I'm a little lost, but I'm guessing the RuneScape players are having a great time. I don't know what to do in the game. I kind of do, but I mean like I need more of a push in the right direction. It feels like because it's just farming for me at the moment. But yeah, I don't see like Theric in here or some of the other guys I see talk it up a lot in chat. They must be busy grinding.
The other Abstract stuff we're missing.
Myriad, really, it's just easy. Get your points in there. It's just like Polymarket. So I'd say Myriad's a good little farm if you're looking to just get some XP. Go on there, get the free points, and you can bet either with dollars. There's like a section that you can bet with USD on what you think is going to happen on outcomes, right? And then there's a whole section that just with points, and those points are pretty easy to get. So if you're looking to just farm something for free, Myriad is uh is one you can do that with. And yeah, there's other games like Promotion Royale is pretty cool. I played. Basically, it's one of those almost like a board game or card game where you join for a certain. It's like I don't know, $2-3 to play each round, and you get two cards. You're like basically in a boardroom, and basically your cards. You have to counter what other people do, right? It's just basically you're trying to kill off other people around the table, and you're supposed to like either prevent that from happening or avoid that from happening until you win. So it's been a fun game. I've played it a couple rounds of that, and I enjoyed it a lot. It's very easy. Once you do a couple rounds, you'll understand it. But yeah, there's no point in me explaining every single thing right now on it. But yeah, it's a fun little game. If you don't have a pass for that, if you don't have like the season pass or whatever, there's only 3 times a day you can do it. So you need to pay attention on when that is. I think the next one's here at 1 p.m. Eastern actually. But it's been fun. Like there's a lot of different things you can do, and it's been a fun little pastime when we were kind of in like the last few weeks of Bear. I was able to play a lot on Abstract, and I enjoyed it. But basically anything really. Go on portal.abs.xyz and go into the discover page and try out different apps. There's different things for different people really. The gotcha game, it's basically just like a scratchy ticket that you buy for a few bucks, and you may win big prizes. That one there I play less because you can get away it can get away from you really quick, and I don't feel like spending all my money on scratchy tickets. But that one there is pretty fun too. You can get some decent prizes if you're just looking to blow some money. That's pretty much it. That's what I've been doing. We're still waiting for you, Jake, on the abstract streets, man.
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna join now that shitcoins are doing better.
That's it. That's exactly it. That's the thing. That's where my attention is going too. So even sometimes I'll be like, oh fuck, now I gotta do my abstract farming. But then you have things like Jockey right now. Like I'm DCAing Jockey for in the 2 mil range and lower forever now. And look at it during this chat, our chat the last hour, it's pumped to 6 mil, and I've been selling while we talk. So that's quick money right there. I just made like 20 or 30 soul. And by snapping my like by doing nothing really, so you know what I mean. I know that that's probably yeah, that's probably the entire money I'll make from abstract. So whatever. Anyway,
So,
it's been fun. It's fun to have opportunities again. It was a little grim there for a little while, you know. We had to muster up all our experiences and be like, no, it's gonna get better. Don't worry, just keep involved, stay involved. You know, don't just disappear. And here we are. We're
yeah.
good again.
I think the abstract stuff will definitely be worth it if people have been farming it since day one. Because there was definitely like not much competition at all. With how deep and how shitty the market was, a lot of people have left. Um, I know there's a lot of people in IBHQ who've been big into it, and I think they'll probably be rewarded. Obviously, I would guess the farm just given the lack of competition during that time, and hopefully market picks up. Abstract will become more popular, aka token price will be nice, and the people will reap the rewards.
Yeah, I guess one extra tip I'll give if you're looking to do abstract, the least you should do is claim your badges every week. There's in the rewards section, there's a badge like a flash badge that they give every week, and some of them are more expensive to do than others, so I'd still pay attention there. But this week it was the big coin. It was just for playing Bitcoin. You get a badge, so I mean, there's a free miner you can go and get, and I think that's all you really needed to do to get this badge was claim that free miner and place it on your land, and then come back and claim it on Abstract itself on the Abstract dashboard. So, um, yeah, I'm not sure if it's expired yet. I think it's still active for today. This badge, so that's the minimum you can do is really just interact with that badge every week and claim it. And even I like dummy old me didn't realize this until this week. I missed the Captain and Company one last week, even though Meg did a whole post on it on X. I still ended up like missing it. So Yeah, that's the minimum you should do is really get this badge and get free XP from that.
Follow Mum's posts on X if you're into abstract. She's been killing it.
She has, yeah, she's
Aegis as well has been doing a lot of good
you're
posts.
right. Eases to a good call, good call. I've been following both of them pretty closely, and they don't get the attention they
And
deserve.
I think Derek might be too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they all do. I think because they're also farming yaps, so it's working for both, right? They're smart. They're growing they're trying to grow their engagement because they know it's gonna bring back, and obviously they're trying to give value too. But it all works together, and I'm very happy they're doing that because I feel like a lot of us don't use Twitter enough, and we don't push our own Twitter enough, and it's nice to see that others are taking it seriously. Like all I do is shit post. Sometimes I'll write some good things, but most times just shit posting and talking shit. So it's good to have value.
I feel that.
Yeah. You too, Jake. I noticed you too. You started writing your thoughts, and it's good. It's important, right? I think I think I saw you using it more as almost like a journal, right? And I think that's a good thing. It's going to help others, and I think for you too, it's good to put it down on paper and to get to write like a few lines on what you think you did right or wrong, or what you think is happening, and it helps us mentally because the one way we'll learn is by writing things down and taking a second because it forces us to really think something through, right? So I think that's been it's a good step to take.
I've been trying to do it better. Gone briefly, so I kind of took a break, and then um, I need to get back at it. I'll try to do it again today. But yeah, I was just trying to do it to keep myself more accountable to like start learning more stuff. Dive into different ecosystems, look at different projects. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to grind on Twitter and share more there.
I think it's worked for you. I mean, I saw you get involved again in shitcoins, and I mean, it's good. I remember doing that once. Not to get too long winded here, but I remember doing that once myself when I was hunting and I had no access to internet and I was kind of bored. And I'm like, man, what can I do? I pulled out a pen and a paper and I just started jotting down like this whole plan and ideas and how I think I should be trading and a bunch of stuff like relating to crypto a couple years ago. This and it translated so well into my trading because you really take a time to like dissect how you're acting, right? Obviously if you're just looking at screens all the time you don't always have time to do that. You're at the screens all day and you're looking at crypto all day but you're not really taking enough time to make yourself better, and I feel like that forces you to do it when you're sitting there writing a few lines and just okay, this makes me hold accountable, it's out there now, and let me like really act on this now, and I feel like it's good for the mind.
Yeah, I think I might do a field report on this at some point, but I've been trying to refine my trading style a bit to be more regimented, just because I was not having success, and I think I was just over trading and trading too large of amounts on one specific trade. So I've just been trying to like find more insight from really good respected traders, and I've shared a couple of those things on my Twitter recently. There's been some like really good interviews of like super successful crypto traders, like dudes who've made 10 million plus. Um, and also been like reading other resources as well. I was actually planning on doing a separate field report on that too, but yeah, I guess some concrete things that I've been doing more, which I have in the past, like tracked all my trades. I think that's like for sure like uh mentally needed. So doing that again, and I think the newer things that I've been doing is like creating more hard and fast rules for myself, like X amount maximum for like this certain market cap of a coin, or um guess this certain price of like an NFT or like a leverage trade or whatever. Just like giving myself different maximums based on my bankroll that I'm using. And then also, I think the thing that's honestly helped me the most is I've been writing down notes like every single trade that I make, like what my thought process was on the trade. And I'm like starting to see, now that I've done it, I'm like starting to see patterns of like things that didn't work. I'm like, oh, this is like kind of stupid. This trade that I took, like it didn't really make sense. Like, especially when you write it down, it, like, kinda makes you think about it more than, like, just pure, "Oh, firing off on a trade." Just the act of, like, writing it down, and when you type it out, like, "Oh, that's, like, kind of a dumb reason," sometimes. Like, when I've done a couple of them, I'm like, Why did I make that trade?" Like, I'm literally typing this out, and, like, it doesn't sound very smart of a trade. So, I think just, like, the act of, like, creating a note for yourself on every trade is pretty helpful, honestly. And it's something you can obviously just go back on and, like, look at as a, like, a reflection point, like, what has worked in the past and what hasn't.
I think that's a good call. I used to do that when
Or
I
is true. Yeah,
eh,
I don't ever journal.
I used to do that before crypto. I was doing a lot of penny stocks and just stocks in general, and that was the one thing I learned. And for some reason, when I got into crypto, I never did it. But I used to have always a book next to me, and I used to like write my ins, my outs, all by hand. I used to write everything because then I could bring it with me and read it, whatever. Now, obviously, technology is advanced. You can bring your like there's cloud fucking software that you can bring your notes everywhere. But yeah, I used to write everything down, my ins, my outs, my reasons, and I don't do that anymore. And I think that's good. That's a smart way of looking at it, especially for shit coining or just trading. Keep like it's yeah. I mean, I think you're gonna see a lot of advantages to that. I think I need to do the same. Just analyze your trades and try to get better.
I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of like just like kind of still alluded to, but it's kind of like what you do in so many different areas of life, right? It's just like looking back at uh decisions made and like pondering why they were made, and that's just how you learn from them, right? You can kind of apply that to so many different areas.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
It's been good, man. I'm happy. We're in a good spot, and I hope it continues at least for a couple months. Give us until summer, and then summer, let us cash out and have a good summer. Give us 2 months off, and then come back in September and crush it again. Uh, but hey,
yeah.
look, if it's hot on summer too, fine. I'll trade on the beach with my phone in my hands, no problem. I don't have a problem with it. Just you know, just give us one day at a time. Give us a good month here.
Yes, please.
Anyway. Yeah.
Um,
Now the last thing I really have well, actually, no, two things. First, field reports is not too much this week, but there's one good one. It fits perfectly with what we were just saying on how we should like work better on ourselves and stuff and our mental game, right? Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up here and I'm not finding it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Gladiator made a field report about when the charts are red and your heart is heavier than your portfolio. Basically, giving a breakdown of different things you can do, or just different things you can do to get better mentally and how to work through that. So I really liked it, and I think it's gonna help you a lot too. Just a good reminder and a good thing to keep close to you and to read through when you feel like you're in a bad spot. I think that one's going to help a lot of people. So please keep an eye on that. And then, oh, look at this. Silver just rolled one out while we were talking here. And actually, it touches my next point here, my next topic that I wanted to cover before we end. And shiny cardboard or how I learned to stop worrying and love the cards. So a lot about TCGs, mostly Pokemon, but a lot of other TCGs, Magic and stuff. I'd give that a read because it really it's hot right now, and if you're finding you have free time and you're not just wanting to do crypto and you want to get a little bit into retail and other like physical products, I feel like TCGs are really hot right now, and it's going to continue. I feel like it's going to continue at least for a year or two because there's a lot of things on the horizon that people are excited for, and if you tap into that and get pre-sales, you can make good profit, and even just for ripping cards, it's a lot of fun, right? So a lot of us are doing it. Hop into the TCG focus discussion that we have, and yeah, I mean, there's a new set coming out soon for Pokemon, and it's all Team Rocket based. Everybody's really excited about that one. The Japanese version drops in 4 days from now, and then the American or the US version drops in a month. I think it was 15th of May. So that's something that people are looking forward to. And even further down the road, you have things like League of Legends that it's going heavily under the radar, I feel, and that could be a really good investment since League of Legends is such a big IP. Those pre-sales are happening. You could probably find them around, or just come ask questions in our thread. We'll
trading
try to
cards?
guide you.
Like
Yeah, trading
trading
card,
cards?
like an actual game for League of Legends. Yeah, and it's going really heavily under the radar. And just to get the way we see it, a few of us, like even Silver, probably sees it the same way. But One Piece did really well. It came out, and the first set kind of went under the radar, and now it's trading for over 2,500 on secondary for a closed box. And we're talking about a maybe $100 or $150 investment that 20x in less than a year. So same here. I think League of Legends might not reach those levels. Maybe it'll even surpass them. Who knows? It's a bit of a guessing game. But one thing's for sure, you're not going to sell that box cheaper than you paid for it. So if you can get pre-sale on League of Legends, definitely a good thing to just keep closed. And yeah, I mean, even V Friends, we talked about it a little bit. I feel like I'm kind of kicking myself here because I feel like it would have been a good investment, and I didn't take it seriously enough. And if you had V Friends Series One cards that you bought, you were able to get onto the pre-sale for V Friends Series Two, and actually they're doing really well on secondary. I think they're 5x or three or 4x from the buy price on eBay, and they're selling really well for closed boxes, and they did rarities well. They actually partnered up with Tops, and they even got into like local card shops and stuff. So maybe if you reach out to your local card shop, they can get you pre-sales for V Friends, but they're hot and everybody's talking about them. Like I even saw them being talked about in some of my other cook groups that are nothing to do with crypto or very little to do with crypto. Like they're more physical retail groups, and they're a good flip opportunity. So I'm looking at those. I'm probably going to try to get my hands on a few of them to keep closed. But yeah, it's nice to see that Gary V kind of pierced through that market and is taking it seriously. I feel like it might do well. But yeah, that's my little bit rundown. It's just keep an eye on good TCGs that might be coming out. It's just so hot right now.
That
Oh, Jacob,
I'm
good
interested in that
call.
League of Legends one. You said it's
Yeah,
not
League of
out yet. You
Legends.
have to do like pre-sale.
Yeah, it's not out, but the pre-sales are happening now. So people are starting to catch on. I guess Silva could link you to some of the U.S. stores that are doing it. I'm in Canada, so it's a little different. I actually went through my card shop that had no idea was happening, and I got a really good deal because he ended up was like, I'll buy a couple cases, see if people sell them out. How much do you want? How many do you want? And I bought like a few from him at really cheap. But yeah, it's just funny to see even card stores don't know about this. So it's I think it's gonna do well. They're starting to catch on slowly. Jacob had a good point. We didn't talk about OM, basically Mantra DAO, and I wanted to touch on this. How I got basically not even, I guess you could call it exploited, but it basically got dumped by the team. They had, I think they unlocked some of their coins and just dumped millions and millions of coins onto the market, and that caused a great shorting opportunity for people. They crashed it from $6 all the way down to like 30 or 40 cents or whatever it was. Um, yeah, and now people are actually made money on the other side too. They were able to long the market and make good gains from the 30 cent range all the way to $1.20. So it's been up and down. It's a lot like Luna back in the day. Keep an eye on that one. I'm not trading it. I missed it completely, but yeah, just one to keep an eye on. And we need to cover also one last thing. Jacob made a nice. I don't know why I didn't mention this. I'm sorry, Jacob, but Jacob made a really good field report last week on taxes. You should read it through it. Don't go to jail like that guy that didn't declare his crypto punks. Good, very good field report. It doesn't affect me too much because I'm in Canada, but there were some good tips for me in there too. So go ahead and read it, especially from the states. That's gonna cover you really well. So Jacob, thank you for that, bro. Silva with a clutch link. Jake, if you're looking to get League of Legends, oh, this is expensive. 169. Oh, the 169 must be Canadian. It's a little bit more expensive than I paid, but they just restocked the League of Legends packs if you want to get a couple boxes, Jake.
Good shout. I'll check that out.
That's it for me, man. I don't know. Well, you got anything else, Jake?
No. Oh, obviously shout out that we have our mint upcoming. Mitch announced it April 29th. We'll have another announcement today, so just look out for that for more in-depth details. All the info you need for our Discord membership. I don't know if I said that.
Good call. That's a good call. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Market seems right for it, so hopefully it goes well. I'm excited to see how 2025 goes. Big things on the horizon for us.
Sir, we'll keep on cooking.
Let's
Anything
do
else
it.
from crowd? Right at the hour mark. Look at that.
No, we're good. We're
Perfect timing.
good. And we talked about a lot too. We're getting good at this, Jake. Not too bad, bro. Not too bad. Pat yourself on the back. Well, thanks for coming out, everybody. Jake, it was a pleasure doing another one with you here. And yeah,
Absolutely.
see you guys in chat.
Thanks y'all for coming out.
Peace.